Alright, second time shooting this shit. This is gonna be annoying. Halloween Kills. I just saw it for the second time. And basically one day, kind of, rewatched it. So yeah. People expecting this movie to have a big body count and Michael Myers to be slaughtering town. Dead wrong. I'm just gonna be trying to go faster for this. Because he does not. Okay, I guess I'll list a few praises I like. Little John, Big John, they're kind of cool. Well, New Myers house is kind of cool. It's very fast paced, so there's that. When he's actually killing people, Michael Myers is cool. Yeah, that's it. So people expecting him to slaughter a whole town and stuff like that. Unfortunately, they're dead wrong because he only does that very briefly at the very beginning and at the very end. In the stretch, he kills about 7 people. I think he kills about 20 to close to 30 people, so it's not that much bigger than the one in 2018, bigger body count. So that's kind of lame. Those are cool. It's just like he isn't slaughtering all the town. He's just slaughtering a few townsfolk and getting some kill count stretches at the very beginning and at the very end, basically. And a really dumb scene, like the end scene's really dumb. I'll explain it later. And they bring back legacy characters who do nothing. Marion Chambers, she does nothing except seem nice. Oh, is nice, and then she gets killed. There's this Dr. Couple from Halloween 2018 who don't really do too much. They're kind of cool, I guess. It was kind of cool that they brought them in here, but they don't really do too much. And by the time they were 15 minutes into their death, it still doesn't feel like they do that much because despite this movie being fast, it feels too fast to feel like any scene genuinely sticks and feels like a part of the story. It just feels like a very short story despite how long it is. So that's kind of a thing with fast-paced movies. There's a double-edged sword that can be fast, so it's very entertaining. But at the same time, does it actually provide a full story? Does it actually feel like a full story where you feel like you grow with these characters? And I guess part of an installment, but I don't know. The Fear Stream movies, like the first two that I saw, even though they're not that good, I think they're just fine. They still somewhat stand on their own a bit. Better than this, a bit. Better than this. A bit better than this. So yeah, hell, even Lost World, the sequel, stands on its own, kind of. Not fully, but still pretty close. Just standing on its own really well. So yeah, it just feels weird. It's a little too fast-paced, actually, I guess, then, because you don't really learn much about these characters. Lindsay Wallace, she doesn't really do too much. She, gets these kids to leave after one of their friends gets killed. Well, he sees Bloody Mask and a cool off-screen death, but still off-screen, but whatever. It's fine. And then she hides, and that's it. She's in this hospital where all of these characters are. Tommy Doyle, Lori. She doesn't really do much in this movie. And Frank Hawkins. But here's the funny part, though. Here's the funny part. If you look at the previous movie when he died, he got fucking ran over. And yet somehow he's still alive. Am I wrong for thinking that doesn't make any sense? He got ran over on his leg and near the private part area, like bladder area and stuff like that. So he shouldn't be able to piss. He shouldn't be able to fucking walk on that leg. He'd be fucking dead. But apparently he's not. There's a cool flashback scene at the very beginning with Dr. Loomis. This is gonna be spoilery, obviously. With the Dr. Loomis, that it's good. So that's another small praise. But yeah, I guess that dude from Kong Skull Island is in it. Probably a much more interesting character than any of Kong Skull Island, but it does kind of give him some more character, so there's that. But again, that's where my praise ends. Somehow he's still alive. It's not a bad character. It's just confusing. He's still alive. But yeah, all these characters just kind of sitting around this hospital, and it feels like the movie isn't trying to blow its load. Like, oh, what are we supposed to do? We have Halloween Ends. We can't have Halloween Ends have nothing in it, so we need to kind of dial it back on this one by a lot, make it kind of lame. And despite being very fast paced, a lot of the time it's just kind of people just sitting there complaining like, oh, what's gonna happen and stuff like that. It's like the sequel doesn't know what to do with itself, so it just fills up like 30-40 minutes of it with this mom mentality idea, that theme that they don't really play in too much that well. Maybe it's gonna be playing into more in the sequel, but still, I don't want to play that much into this movie, so and you show a line of sequel as well to help build it. I understand it's part of the trilogy, but still. So they don't really do too much. It feels like this movie is only like feature length, or technically longer than you need to be for feature length, just because they had an extra 30 minutes. So like these people in hospitals just like running around like, what are we gonna do? And every time they see someone, they're just like, holy shit. And they see like this totally innocent dude, and they somehow mistake him for Michael Myers despite not having the build for Michael Myers, and then they get him killed in this kind of cool scene, I guess. But it makes me dislike Tommy Doyle's character so that when he dies, it's a really dumb scene, I don't feel bad for him. So yeah, that was something. Just to make sense how they thought he was Michael Myers. Like, he looks nothing like Michael Myers. Speaking of which, Michael Myers just sometimes feels like he's not the central part of the movie. Or just like it's not a Michael Myers movie, which isn't that bad. It's not that much of a problem, but still. But yeah, Tommy Doyle's character doesn't really do too much. He and a bunch of other townsfolk are just like, ooh, evil's gonna die tonight. Like, yeah, sure. It's not like there's another movie. It just got old really fast because they say it a lot. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Yeah, but evil's dying tonight, guys, right? It's like, evil dies tonight. Like, shut the fuck up. It's not. Maybe tonight in the sequel to this sequel to the previous sequel, okay? But it's just got old fast. Got old real fast. But yeah, I got old quickly. There's also this scene that kind of ups the body count after a lackluster body count for a bit. Where this mob who takes out Michael Myers, kind of, they decide not to cut his head off for some reason. And then Karen and Allison, I guess, are there, but then they leave somewhat far away, I guess, even though I thought they were pretty close to the Myers house, but I guess now the mob are farther away from the Myers house, so that when they all got killed in this really weirdly edited montage scene where none of them try to fight, like more than one try to fight at a time, Karen and the others don't hear it, and then after that, Michael Myers sneaks into the Myers house without anyone seeing, and I guess stabs Karen. But I don't really care too much because I don't feel bad for her character. Cameron's also in this film. Doesn't have much of a character, neither does his father Lonnie, who's not that bad. They're not that bad, they just don't have much characters. So when Lonnie inevitably dies, when he decides to go into the house alone like a dumbass, I don't really feel too bad for him. I'm not saying like, oh, he should have died. I'm just like, okay, sucks, but like I didn't really know much about your character. Same thing with Cameron. It's not like, oh, they're gonna be developed in the sequel. Lonnie dies, and so does Cameron. Last time I checked, he has his neck snapped and like, I don't know, messed around and stabbed, shit. Lonnie's just dead. I don't know how he died. So yeah, they don't really do too much. Now there's Tommy Doyle. I don't know. I think they should play into the mob mentality by having like how earlier Tommy Doyle was like, ooh, we don't succumb to fear, and how they show that this whole town is technically succumbing to fear, but they're just saying that they're not. And by succumbing to fear, they're constantly thinking that Michael's around every corner, and they end up getting innocent people killed and becoming monsters, basically just like him and, I don't know, maybe Tommy Doyle and the others, maybe just him, get like innocent people killed or hurt. The search, in his dying moments, he realizes it's just as bad as Michael Myers or something like that. I don't know. Would have been something interesting. Instead of evil dies tonight for the 400th fucking time that they say it, it gets old again. But yeah, there's not. My main problems are just it's fast paced, but the characters you don't learn much about them. There's not that much of Michael slaughtering the town. That's kind of it. Like, the movie's entertaining, but it's nothing really too special. It feels like a lot like fan service. Like, ooh, Tommy Dole's gonna fuck him up. Oh god, it's Marion Chambers. But they don't really do too much. It's just fan service. And, you want to see this? It's totally cool. I had a fun time watching it twice, but it's just, I don't know. It seems weird. Apparently, to the 2018 one, it seems like much more amateur film because there's also some weird shots that are like close-ups of like people's chests or like face, like half of their face, and it feels weird and like amateur. I'm like, was that intentional? If so, it's a weird shot that doesn't add anything. It's really confusing. So that's weird. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate this film. It's just it's disappointing. That's all. It's like mediocre. I recommend you watch it. Not really, but you know what? You'll probably have a fun time watching it. Just wish there's more Michael Myers slaughtering in the town. It could have been longer. Develop the characters more. Play into those ideas. Hope the sequel does, but still, on its own, this movie doesn't hold up too much. So yeah. See you in the next video. Bye bye.